Welcome back to the Squid Game tutorial series. If you have not seen part 1 yet, I highly recommend checking that out, where we cover the AI and its functionalities. Today we'll be setting up the game timer and the end state of the game. Alright, so open up your player blueprint and then you want to create a couple of variables. These variables are going to be used to set up our timer. Now change the default value to what you think fits. In the sake of this video, I'm making my timer 1 minute and 32 seconds. Now we're going to create a timer by event. This will execute a code at a given time, but in our case, we're going to execute a code to subtract time from our timer every second. So remember, this code is being executed every second, so right now, we are subtracting a second every second that our timer by event is being called. Make sure the minimum value is -1. When I set the value to 0, it makes the time go from 1 minute and 1 second to 60 seconds. Now update the seconds value by setting it and connecting the clamp node to it. Then get a less or equal node and connect it to a branch. So here, we are checking if our seconds is less or equal to -1. If it is, we're gonna subtract 1 minute. For those who don't know, clamp nodes are essentially used to limit values. Now we want to set our minutes value. And then get our seconds variable and add 61. The reason we are adding 61 instead of 60 is because we made our minimum value to -1 at the beginning of our code. After that, make sure to set the seconds value and then you want to drag off the bottom pin and subtract 1. Now let's create the widget for our timer. This widget will track the remaining time in our game. Hold Ctrl and click to align our text with the anchor points. Then change this value to 0.5 to adjust our text to be in the center. Now you want to create a binding for the text. This is where we will set up our code for the timer. Now you want to cast to your first person since that is where our timer is located. Now you want to get a select node. This will have 3 options that we will use for the text of the timer. Now, I don't think that I need to explain format text, but format text is basically formatting your text. So option 0 will look like this in game. Also, make sure to add these squiggly lines in order to get these input pins. Now you want to get the minutes and seconds variable and connect them to the format text. Now for option 1, this will be the text that will be shown when the timer is below 10 seconds. Here's an example. Now option 2 is how our text will look when the timer reaches 0 seconds. Don't worry about this error. We are getting this error because of our index, but we will come back and update our index later. Alright, so this change select variable will be to update our select that we have created inside of the widget. Here we are checking if our seconds is less than 10. If it is, then we are going to want to add 1 to our change select variable, which will update from option 0 to option 1. Don't forget to limit the values with a clamp node, and then set its new values with a set node. Here we are going to subtract 1 if our timer just reached under a minute, which will make our option go from 1 to 0. If you don't subtract 1, then your timer will look like this. Now, we're checking if the seconds are less than or equal to 0. If they are, we add 1 to the change select variable. But since we're also checking if the timer is under 10 seconds, to which adds another one, we're essentially adding 2 in total. So our select will be set to option 2. Now you want to promote our looping into a variable. Now get the change select variable and connect it to the index of the select node. Alright, now we're going to create the blueprint for the timer. Add a widget component, assign our timer widget to it from the details panel, and that's pretty much it for this blueprint. Now place the blueprint into the world and let's test it. Now we want to stop all the functions when the time reaches 0 seconds. Promote our timer to a variable and then get a delay node. Since my in-game timer is 1 minute and 32 seconds, I'm making this delay node 92 seconds, which is equivalent to 1 minute and 32 seconds. But I'm adding an extra second of delay so the game doesn't end the exact moment that the timer hits 0. So therefore my delay node will be 93 seconds. After this clear timer function, we are just going to use a temporary print string, which we will come back and switch it out in the next episode. Make sure to set our loop to false. Now you want to open up your AI blueprint and do the same for the timer function. Alright, that wraps up this part of the Squid Game tutorial series. If you found this helpful, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. And if you want to dive deeper or skip ahead, the full project file is available over on my Patreon, link in the description. And until then, see you in the next one.